Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Jack's Business Talk. Today we are doing an episode of People in School. Today's special guest is Maxwell. So I so Maxwell, I always do the plugs in the beginning because I always forget. How would you like people to contact you if they have any questions?
Uh, I think at this point, just on school, because I don't really have a dedicated real estate page on Instagram or a YouTube. So find me on
Perfect.
school.
Perfect. And I'll put the spelling his name down in the description that way you can find him.
Sweet.
So we have a series of questions that have been changed a little bit that we try to keep consistent with everyone. So you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What are some of your hobbies and interests?
I think one of the biggest ones right now is probably riding dirt bikes, and I don't know, I'm trying to stay fairly active, so I enjoy like going on hikes and runs and stuff, especially with my dog. And if it's not a run, then I'll try and include my daughter too.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, and paddleboarding, the season for that's kind of coming to an end in Oregon. It's getting cold up there now.
I've always wanted to try paddle boarding. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do with it.
That's
I
pretty
feel like I
fun.
have
I
good.
don't.
I feel like I have good coordination some days and horrible coordination other days.
How's your balance though?
It's hit and
And
miss.
can you swim?
I'm a great swimmer,
All right. You should
but
definitely try it then.
yeah, I used to lifeguard a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Right
Yeah,
on.
there's some days I can run across joists like the flooring before you put the down the
Yeah,
plyboard.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And there's other days I can't walk in a straight line to save my life.
Well, you don't have to walk on a paddleboard, luckily, so maybe any day will work. I know it gets a little hectic with my German Shepherd and my daughter all on the board with me, but we'd make it work. And we haven't all fallen in at the same time yet, so
That's good.
yeah.
Who do you feel is your inspiration in your life?
Um,
Doesn't have to be a famous person.
Inspiration in my life. Actually, I think probably my grandma is probably my biggest inspiration. It's just the way she approaches life and is she's always there to help people out. And, she's always been someone I go to and look up to.
Okay.
Yeah. And she actually has a few rentals now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely cool. So
Yeah.
would you say in a way she kind of planted a seed to get you into real estate or
I suppose that's a possibility. I think I've known her about her rentals since well before I got serious about obtaining my own. But I suppose it probably made it seem a little more attainable and realistic to get into, knowing
okay.
that her or that she has a, portfolio herself. Yeah.
What would you or what is your why? So for real estate investing, are you trying to be able to retire at some point off your rentals, provide a better retirement or a full retirement off your rentals?
I mean, I think ideally a full early and better than otherwise without rentals retirement is the goal. I feel like as time goes on, I'm realizing there's more and more things in life that I'd like to experience and have the time to do. And I don't know. Everybody that I talk to that has rentals makes it seem like it's a pretty sweet way to do that.
Yeah, well, once you get everything systematized and you get everything stabilized, it becomes pretty nice. I'm currently working
Yeah.
on trying to create a short or I want to create a website with short little videos that explain to tenants, like little how-to stuff. Like
Oh yeah.
I want to make them as cheesy as possible, so they're humorous, but they answer the question at the same time. So like for example, like I want to make a video like how to change a light bulb. First step, turn off the power, unscrew the light bulb, screw in the next light bulb. Congratulations, you changed the light bulb.
Whoa.
I kind of got the idea of a stupid little TikTok video about how to pick up a
Oh
duck.
yeah.
I was like, that's perfect for landlords because it's serious enough that they'll take it serious, but they might get a little chuckle out of it at the same time.
Yeah. Just don't put anything too complicated in there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna. It'll take forever to do the episode on how to rewire a fuse box.
Yeah, yeah.
What what's your buy box?
I've been looking at 2 to 4 unit multifamilies that are at least 2 bedroom in the kind of west suburbs of Portland, Oregon.
Is that near where Dion and all them invest too?
It's further south than Dion.
Okay.
It's it's pretty close to where Jared is at. I mean, it's
Oh, okay.
basically where Jared's at, yeah. Although Jared doesn't invest in Oregon because it's a terrible place to invest, but gonna
Do you
see if
have
I can make it work with some house hacking.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So how long have you been part of school? Did you do investing before you started school?
So I actually haven't bought my first property yet.
Oh,
So there's that. I think I've been in school for 3 months now, maybe.
I'm kind of excited for you. Whenever you get your first property, you get the golden ticket.
Oh yeah.
I
Yep.
I
I'm getting closer.
I bought two properties before I even knew about the ORAAT community, so I never got my golden
Oh yeah.
ticket.
Yeah. What? You haven't gotten it yet?
I didn't get it because you have to your golden ticket has to be he has to help you. Well, I didn't know about ORAT until
Oh,
much
I'm sure you
later.
could get it like retroactively or whatever.
I'm
I'm sure
sure
he'd
I
be down to
could.
give you one. Yeah.
I'm sure I could, but I'm not. I'm actually working more on trying to get Cynthia her first one to get her golden ticket.
Yeah. Is that your partner or wife or something or
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
nice. Oop.
So, what do you think your next biggest milestone is for your real estate investment journey?
I mean, I think it's gotta be getting my first property, you know. I've been just saving up for a down payment for a while now. I don't know, maybe a year or two, kind of slowly stacking coin after I don't know, I suppose I was saving a bit, like 10% of my gross income, and then I was like, well, this is gonna take way too long. And so I bought Zuber's Get Your Money Right course.
Okay,
And since then I've gotten more serious about saving and I made a budget and everything. And so now I've doubled the savings rate. And
okay, cool.
luckily this year I've worked the way my work schedule is if I work over 182 days, after those 182 days, I get into like overtime, extra days.
Uh,
So in a few more days, I'll be getting into that and be making quite a bit of money here at the end of the year. And so I'll be able to chuck that in there too. And hopefully coming up pretty quick, I'll be able to get my first property.
so, what is it that you do for a living?
I'm an aircraft mechanic.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. But I travel and I don't know for the last 5 years, I guess, I've worked predominantly on helicopters.
okay.
And when I travel, it's all just helicopter work, which I've been doing for the last 4 years. Yeah.
When I when I was in when I was in high school, I wanted to do something similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents had like a virtual meltdown when I told them I wanted to join the Air Force to go learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just they didn't talk me out of it.
Why didn't they like it?
I think it's because they were afraid of where I might end up or anything like that. But just like I told them, just like I wanted to do the Air Reserves. Like I wasn't like even full blown Air Force,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be just a mechanic. But I don't know. I feel like there's a reason for everything. So
Yeah. What do you do now?
I'm a machine operator for a healthcare system.
Oh,
We
okay.
we put together the syringes that dyes get filled with to be injected into your body for like MRIs and CT scans and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the machine is like manufacturing the syringes, or
it's
it's loading the syringes, or
we get them pre or like the molding's already done. Like we don't do the molding on site anymore.
yeah,
So
the molding
so
of the syringes.
yeah, so they're
Yeah.
assembling the syringes and then it then goes down a conveyor system, like a manufacturing place.
Hmm.
And so that goes down the conveyor system and it goes to the other machine, which is kind of a tool and die machine, like, for like steel mills or machine shops and stuff. But it does it
Yeah.
with plastics to make the packages. And then we have probably like 20 robots at that point on that machine that then load and put everything in together and you have to fix the robots and stuff.
Oh, okay. Huh. So it's kind of final packaging of the syringes.
More or less, yeah. And then we
Yeah.
send them off to get sterilized.
Oh, okay. Huh. Cool.
It's not bad.
Yeah. You've been doing that for a while, or?
Yeah, this will be my 11th year.
Oh, wow. Sweet. Been
I
an
like
aircraft mechanic for about 10. So,
okay.
yeah.
I like the lasers. I especially like all the warnings and stuff. It makes people get scared and don't want to go towards them.
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm like staying in this timeshare unit or whatever, right, for work. And it's in California, and there's a fireplace, and it has that, uh warning about things that cause cancer.
Yeah.
Like there's that placard right next to the fireplace. It's kind of funny.
So, what books and podcasts and other real estate items can you recommend to our viewers?
Um, I suppose I'd recommend school. And if you want some accountability, the Monday morning one's the best one, I think. But
Okay.
no, it's just because I run it, or sort of run it. And Joe and Mark help out a lot. But I've enjoyed Think and Grow Rich, and of course Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it's been a minute, but I listened to the 15 Conversations with Millionaires. Is that the full title?
I
Super's
believe
other
so.
book? Yeah,
Yeah.
that one, and then the One Rental at a Time book have all been pretty great.
I finally had time. I sat down with the book for 15 Conversations with Millionaires, and I
Yeah.
listened to Dion reading as I was like following through with the book.
Yeah.
There's not as many
I
pictures
think,
in it as I thought there would be. The way Zuber talks about it, like I thought there'd be a picture of like every person in,
oh yeah.
and there's not a
He's kind
picture.
of kept them what's the right word? Like he's kept their names out of it, right?
Yeah, for the most part, he
Yeah.
tells you at the very end who's who.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, but he kind of keeps it all secretive up until that point.
Yeah. Huh.
So it makes you try to guess.
Yeah.
So
I really like Dion's channel too.
yeah, Dion has a good
I feel like
channel.
that's pretty helpful. And I feel like if I'm ever kind of at a low point in motivation or feeling like I am never gonna get there, it's always pretty helpful to go listen to or sit in on one of his lives or something like that. I don't know. Something about the way he presents, it kind of brings me back up and gets me excited again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank does he does sometimes the confessions, and he'll talk about some of the lows and stuff on his channel too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he tries to keep it as real as he possibly can, and he talks about some of the downsides and stuff. Where so because Frank's big thing was he didn't want everyone to see just the highs because
Yeah.
it sets unrealistic expectations. So he talks about some of the lows as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. I don't think I've watched any of his videos actually, but sometimes I feel a little overwhelmed with all the content out there.
Yeah, I kind of get that way too. I know Zuber talks about we have all this information and all these programs for you to use on the school community. I was like, yeah, but since I can't download it like I can the YouTube stuff,
Yeah.
I never really get around to it because I listen to a lot, most of it while I'm at work. So it could just go to one to the next and the next and the next.
Yeah, yeah.
So I never really get around to it. And by the time I'm done with work and stuff, I'm kind of just for that day over listening to real estate stuff. You know,
Yeah, mine's kind of fried.
usually by
I just
that point,
want
I'm
some
like,
peace and quiet.
yeah, usually by that point, I either want nothing, no noise, especially being in a noisy environment. Like I just want
Oh yeah.
quiet, or I want something that's not mind rotting, but something I don't have to think about. And that's usually when I throw in like Matt's off-road recovery or something.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen I think I've seen parts of some of his videos. Some guy
I
at work recommended him.
I like watching his stuff, but I don't know how much I really watch. I don't because like to me, I like seeing like the last like few minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
But I kind of like walk around, I start doing stuff, so I don't know if I have ever actually sat and
Oh
watched a
yeah, yeah.
full episode.
Yeah.
So what, as of right now, I know you said you haven't bought any properties, but I'm sure you
hmm
faced some challenges up to this point. Like, so what would you think some of your biggest challenges are and what you had to do to overcome them?
Let's see. I think I'm still kind of struggling with networking. I know when Zubra interviewed me, he was telling me that's what I needed to go out and do, is meet a bunch of people. I think I
Mm,
still need to overcome that fear. So, I'm doing stuff like this and hopefully it helps me out with feeling a little more open to talking to strangers about real estate and
Do
just
you ever,
seeking people out that are landlords and stuff.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And this is a great place for people to try to reach out and meet new people.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's super nice and super friendly. We're all just trying to help each other out.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, if at this point, I mean, the biggest hurdle for me is amassing a down payment. I think sometimes it's a little frustrating with how long it's taking, and that I could be more disciplined with, with my spending and I don't know, finding some more money to save.
I know for myself, it was the first one seemed like it took forever,
Yeah.
and I don't know how I managed to pull it off, but within like 3 to 6 months, I bought a second one.
Oh yeah.
But after that, I was kind of tapped out and stuff, and it took me like 2 years to finally get the down payment for another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always hear like, I don't know, Dion especially talk about how it took him a couple years to save up for the first one, and then a couple more years to save up for the second one. And then it kind of slowly started accelerating. I'm kind of worried that I'm going to get impatient. I mean, I feel like I'm already impatient with how long it's taken me to get the first one since I haven't yet. And so I'm a little worried that the second one is going to be frustrating for me, and I'm going to like be impatient and potentially make a poor decision.
well, as long as you just take your time, and you can always even like shoot a property in the community and ask what they think of it and
Yeah,
stuff. I'm sure there's people in there that would try to help you. I know if I could, I would. Um,
yeah,
I just don't. I'm not overly familiar with that area, so the only thing I could do is just number crunch.
yeah, yeah. Well, it seems like a lot
But
of people. I've heard them say, like, even if you have the funds and even if it's a good deal, sometimes it's better to hold off and really get your feet under you and get stabilized with that first property.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like to try, and this is just a me thing, and it seems that it has worked out. I try to get the landscaping under control to begin with. That way, the
Yeah.
town can see that you're making efforts and improvements into the property.
Yeah.
And then I focus at that point on the inside, so you can start to get some cash flow coming in. And then at that point, I'll take care of once they're rented out and stuff, and the insides are stabilized. I'll then bounce back to the outside and finish up anything on the outside.
Yeah.
And it's not a quick thing. Like it usually takes like a couple years to get a property from when I take it over to fully done.
Oh, okay. You said a couple of years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in that time, you're still saving up for your next down payment. You got other things going
Yeah.
on. So
Hmm.
it's enough to keep you busy and and working on projects and stuff. For me, I like working on the projects or acting as like a general contractor in a way. But some people
Yeah.
don't like to do that.
Yeah. Have you always kind of been pretty hands-on, or have you had to learn quite a bit of stuff
I've always
for
been
like,
pretty hands-on, and it's just kind of
yeah,
been like how I grew up.
yeah, yeah. I'm always curious to hear what people have to say about that. It's a lot of different backgrounds.
Yeah, I I saw recently someone was complaining about terracotta plumbing and stuff and everything they had to do, for that. I was thinking to myself, I wouldn't necessarily work on that anymore just because I've dealt with enough sewer lines.
Enough shit. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And but I was like, I don't mind terracotta plumbing though. Like you just have to be careful where you make the cut so it doesn't splinter and crack like a rusty exhaust system. And then just attach the PVC pipe and run it over to another section, attach it over there, and you're done.
yeah, yeah. I've never dealt with it, so I would have no clue.
It's soft brittle clay.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so easy to make a bigger project out of it, but if you're just calm and take your time,
yeah. What do you
it's
typically
not.
cut that with?
It's been so long since I worked with it. I can't exactly remember. I can't remember if I used like a hacksaw and just went real slow with it,
Yeah,
or I either I want to say that's what I did because my second thought was using a sawzall, but that would have been too aggressive.
yeah,
But I was even thinking like maybe like an auto body tool because I have a bunch of those around because I used to do auto body work, but I don't think I would have wanted to smell sewage either. So I don't think that would have been what I would have used either. So I probably just used a hacksaw and just took my time.
yeah, yeah. With it being so brittle and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine a sawzall breaking it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that would lead into a very shitty day.
Oh yeah. Quite literally.
So how would you say that being part of the school community has impacted your growth so far?
Um, I feel like it's given me a lot more consistency. I think before I was struggled with like daily discipline, I look at my market and kind of staying in it. But I don't know, it's pretty awesome. I did an interview with Zuber because I joined the school community. And then because of that interview, I connected with Joe V, and then we started having like weekly accountability calls, which was super helpful. And then Mark Oshiro kind of pushed me to start an accountability Zoom meeting. And so now I've been doing, I think this coming Monday will be week 5 or week 6 of that.
Okay.
So that's been kind of pretty neat and helpful.
Yeah,
So go
Mark
ahead.
was asking me when you guys were trying to get situated, he's like, you have a little bit of experience with this. Do you want to help out? I was like, what time is it? He told me the time is like, I'll never be able to make that. ever. I was like, I'll be asleep because I work night shift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
So
feel
you
bad
just
because I haven't even got to see how your whole thing works yet. I've been pretty curious.
yeah. I mean, usually I feel like it's pretty different than the other two groups in that we just are somewhat rapid fire with just going through the people who are on the call and seeing how they did for the previous week with their goals and then setting new goals for the next week. And we try and keep it around 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's been cool.
I'm trying to set up something but I'm not quite sure how to word it. But I wanted to do like a local meetup,
Oh yeah.
and I wanted to try and keep it at an hour and a half. Is kind of like what I'm envisioning.
Yep.
And I wanted to
90
do like
minutes.
all the investors that invest in the Pittsburgh and like surrounding areas because otherwise it'd be like five of us. And I
Yeah.
can't say that all of us would be able to attend. So what I was kind of envisioning is doing like the first little bit of like like an actual real accountability meeting where it's kind of like what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
and then have a topic of discussion for the day or for that meeting. Because I'm envisioning it either bi-weekly or just monthly.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I want to do like okay and do like surrounding cities of Pittsburgh or even I don't know how big I want it to get area wise, but do like, hey, this city's having these problems, blah 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 blah. This, have someone in that city talk about that and how they're working with that, and then
Mm.
after that, just do like final thoughts and just conclude it.
Yeah. I don't know. I suppose that you kind of gotta figure out how many people are going to come and then decide decide how big of a meeting you want. I don't know
Yeah,
how many people you can make feel heard in a 90-minute period. Because I feel like that's been a bit of a struggle with this morning accountability group sometimes. It's like with more people, the meeting gets longer and longer. So I feel like almost at some point, I gotta like, oh, no more people, but luckily that hasn't happened yet.
yeah. I think because I want to try and get so much stuff in, I want to kind of keep the group small,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure what the size would be. I guess just start off and see what happens. It's just
Yeah, and
hard
then
trying
like
to find a good time because we have Mark and Mikey that are over in Hawaii and trying to get
yeah,
them a part of it with them 6 hours behind us is,
yeah.
and most of the people here in Pittsburgh don't work a night shift because like my schedule lines up perfectly with theirs, but like no one else.
Oh, with the people in Pittsburgh or
Yeah,
yeah. Because you can probably do a meeting once they're off work and done for the day and you're just starting your day or something.
pretty much. Yeah, because like my big thing is usually I get done at 6 a.m. So I usually go to sleep and stuff, but then I
Oh
wake
yeah.
up at 3 or so.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I was like, well, 5 o'clock would work, but then Mark and Mikey, that would be like 11 for them. And
Yeah.
not sure how often they would be able to attend that or not.
Hey, sometimes
But
I'm kind of mind blown by how much or how many like groups and lives and stuff Mark is on.
yeah,
Yeah. Feel like it's like a full-time job for him.
yeah, I'm not sure quite how he does it. I think he doesn't sleep. I
Yeah,
think
I think he doesn't
that's
sleep either. Because was Hawaii like 2 hours ahead of, or sorry, behind, I guess. So when it's 6 a.m. my time, it's 4 a.m. his time.
I'm not sure. I know it's six
I
hours
think
from
it's,
here.
yeah, I feel like it's 2 hours. Maybe it's three.
I
Yeah.
think it might
Either
be
way, it
three.
seems like he's always awake somehow. It's impressive.
Okay, you ready for the
So
final question?
no,
Do you have a question?
Do I have a question? No, I haven't thought of any questions, but I just know I already looked at the question, the last question, and I don't have any plans for my 50-year legacy. Yeah, I haven't given it much thought. I don't have a grand plan like Mr. Zuber does, you know, where he's planning on making an impact in a bunch of lives. It's definitely something I should think about. Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big or drastic or ground shattering. I know, like for example, for me, my how I envision my 50-year legacy is I want to try and get a piece of property and open up a camp and stuff, and just be able to have the investments that I've provided over the years to then provide the funding for that,
yeah.
and
Well,
have the camp support different things that I believe in, so that there's no pressure on whether it succeeds or fails. And that's and I always want to kind of be a teacher in a ways. That's why I started the YouTube channel. I'll probably carry that off into the camp as well in some aspect. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking my 50-year legacy is going to be.
yeah. What is what is your like vision of this camp? Like kind of a community based on a property,
Um,
or
I envision it more like kind of like what do you call it? Like a glamping thing where you can rent out, or and then have like some like little sections for groups and stuff to, you know,
oh, okay. It's
and then
like a
have like
glamping retreat.
yeah, pretty much,
Yeah,
and then have like a little hobby farm off to the side.
yeah. Sweet. I've always felt like homesteading would be pretty awesome and kind of a fulfilling and I don't know, relaxing at sometimes way to live my life. I suppose I do have some feeling of responsibility to ensure my daughter is able to I don't know, make herself a good life. I feel like a lot
Okay,
of, I mean, I'm not wealthy by any means yet, obviously, but I feel like a lot of wealthy individuals just give to their kids as opposed to teach their kids.
yeah.
So I think that's something I want to make sure I do, but that's not so much of a legacy is.
Well, it could be. You never know what your daughter's gonna end up doing. She might be the
True.
president, or she might do some ground. She might be the next engineer to do some groundbreaking study or something.
She can be my legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
So, so thank you for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for inviting me, man.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to have you come on again sometime.
Sounds good.